What's up, YouTube? I'm about to get out on my 2017 CBR500R and run a few errands. So while I'm out, I thought I might as well run a review of it since I haven't done that yet. Since I just did a beginner bike video and I mentioned it, might as well do a little review. I have not warmed this thing up, so while I'm warming it up, I might as well talk about a couple of things on it. First of all, the tag is very minimalistic. It gives you your time, MPG, which you can switch over to the odometer if you want to. Yes, I have 36,000 miles on this thing, almost 36.5, and it's still running like it's brand new. Anyway, you have your time, MPG, odometer, whatever you want to set it as. I like to keep mine as the miles per gallon readout so that I can maximize the fuel economy by just seeing where in my power band I need to be. Other thing it gives you that most bikes don't have is a fuel gauge. That thing is priceless. I can't tell how many times on my R6 that I fill up just because of my paranoia when I don't know how much gas I have in the tank. Because you never know when that gas light is going to come on. Even taking the gas cap off and looking inside, you can kind of gauge it, but it's not going to be pinpoint accurate like this is. Only thing I don't like about this though is when you're on an incline facing down, it'll usually show like one dot less than what you have, so it'll show this a little short. It'll show on the short side, in other words. Like if you have 5 dots, if you're on a really steep slope, it'll show that you have 4, like take 1 away. Or if you stop fast, it'll take 1 away, which isn't that bad. It comes right back in like 45 seconds after you get back level, so not too bad. Another thing while I'm sitting here, seating position. This thing is very upright, unlike my R6. It is very upright and very comfortable. It doesn't kill your arms, your shoulders, your wrists, everything's up. Another thing though, the horn is above the turn signal, which I don't really like that much. On most other bikes, it's flipped. So when I get back on this one after being on another bike for a while, it takes a little while to become reacclimated. Also, this is one of the few bikes with hazard lights, which, you won't use them unless you're broken down, but still something nice to have. It looks like it might rain pretty soon. Gonna go ahead and get going. Also, this bike comes with LED headlights, stock. They're not the brightest things, but they're really good.
1 hour later.
So guys, I kinda might have got rained on. So let's try take 2 of this video. So I already went over ergonomics, what the tag felt like. This bike has plenty of get up and go for around town riding. And even a little bit of spirited riding, honestly. Look, I'm just chilling right here in 6th gear, 4,000 RPM-ish, approaching 5. 84.7 MPG. Like, this is a perfect commuter. And if you want to kick it up a little bit, just drop a gear and start sailing. And this bike also loves turns, the curves. There is is a reason I have not gotten rid of this bike yet. And I don't plan on getting rid of it. Only thing it's really missing is that top end zing. It really tapers off after like 90, but it gets to around 90, 100 really fast. But after that, and reasonably, you shouldn't be going that fast in the first place. But you know, sometimes when drivers are being stupid, you have to drop it down and haul it to get yourself out of trouble sometimes. Like, I've had instances where I barely had enough power on this bike to get out of trouble. One time I was on the interstate, and a tractor and trailer decided they wanted to be in the right lane, right where I was. So they fling themselves over there, and I almost get squashed against the guardrail. I had barely enough power to get out of that situation. This would be a perfect opportunity to talk about passing power, because this garbage truck smells horrible. Oh, that's awful. So, passing power, 6 here right now. I honestly could do this in 6, but if there aren't, yeah, I'll go ahead and pass it in 6. I won't even drop down. That was without dropping a gear. You got plenty of passing power. Then if I were to drop a gear, I would probably been at around 90 when I was passing them instead of high 70. If you aren't doing anything stupid, guys, this bike has plenty of power. It's nimble once you get going. Oh, that's grass, that's grass. Oh, the brakes, however, are, they leave a lot to be desired. If you look at the front brakes, you only have one caliper. It's on the other side, not this side, but this side, and it's Nissan is the brand. Anyway, these brakes are horrible. So if you get these, one good mod would be steel braided brake lines. Give you a little bit more bite. And you don't have a lot on the front, but also the back brake likes to lock up. It's like an on-off switch for the back brake. It's either no brake or you slide. No in between there. So I usually rely on my front with this bike. And even then, the front doesn't have much bite to it at all. So definitely get steel braided brake lines if you get this bike. But if you want a bike that lasts a very long time, is comfortable, has plenty of power as long as you're not doing anything dumb, has great fuel economy, has a pretty cool looking dash that's not too complicated, could be your bike. The only thing is, if you're a beginner on this bike, like still wet behind the ears, you have never ridden a motorcycle before, this thing does have a lot of low end. It will get off the line fast. So if you're not careful with this, you could land yourself in a lot of trouble. This bike is just downright fun. The pegs are also, if you take this to the mountains or the canyons, if you're out west, the pegs are really low. So if you're really trying to get aggressive with this bike, you might need aftermarket rear sets with some higher pegs, because you'll be scraping if you get this bike over past like 45 degrees. You will find yourself scraping a lot. wasted half a tank of gas on that acceleration. But yeah, that's another thing. You'll be faster than most cars out here. Well, quicker than most cars. Well, I'm gonna get you on the top end, but off the line, yeah, you're straight. So if the car has like over 500 horsepower, you're gonna struggle though. And if you're trying to do pulls or smackdowns on the interstate, this is not your bike, I'm gonna tell you now. Which, if this bike's on your list, you probably don't need to be doing that anyway. But if you're trying to do a little racing on the interstate, you're gonna get left over like 85. You're good in those little 60 to 90 pulls, but after that, Why weren't you in the turn lane? There's a whole turn lane there. Also, this bike is very quiet. It's an inline, it has an inline 2 engine. I mean, not inline 2. This bike has a parallel twin engine. So it's not the loudest thing. The stock muffler on this sounds like an angry sewing machine. And even with an Acura with a baffle out, it's still not much. It sounds a little bassier, but it has a little bit more meat on its bones, but still not loud. And the camera audio probably made it sound even worse, honestly. But yes, I am glad I picked this as my first bike though. Well, first bike. I did dirt bikes before. So realistically, I could have started on a 600, but I'm glad I got this thing. It's more practical. If you do think about getting this bike, go into a store and sit on it first though. That's a major thing in choosing a bike. You want to sit on it for an extended period of time if the store will let you. Sitting on it will kind of tell you how it'll be if you take an extended trip on it. But this thing is so comfortable though. I've never had any problems getting uncomfortable, even going almost from Atlanta almost to Tennessee, which was a pain when I got the R6 and I had to go from Tennessee to Atlanta because of how bent over it was. But this is straight up seating position. The tank isn't too wide. Your legs don't put you, the pegs don't put you in a fetal position. The handlebars are up. It's, I don't want to say it feels like a moped, but it feels upright and comfortable. Oh, engine braking in the first gear. First gear is not that long on this. So engine braking down the first gear will sometimes make you skid. I think first gear take you like 30 something miles an hour, probably like 32. So you find yourself switching out of first sometimes right after you take off, like before you even clear an intersection sometimes, which is a little bit annoying, those short gears. One thing I forgot to mention is the reliability on this bike. All you have to really do is keep the chain maintenance, keep the oil changed. This bike will go forever. The only problem I ever had out of this bike was just the coolant leak caused by we just needed to replace a radiator hose, which is really cheap. It's just a little rubber hose. And even then, that leak was very slow, so it wasn't even a real problem. It didn't impact the riding. It like drip maybe twice every 30 minutes. But yeah, I love this thing. It's my baby. So if you guys want to support, all you have to do is click like and subscribe, and that'll help this start reaching more people. I'm trying to get it off the ground to be so that I can help you guys out with advice, with tutorials, how-tos, first ride reviews, going around the demo rides and testing out different bikes and telling what I think about them. So please help this reach a wider audience by clicking like and subscribe. That's all for right now. See ya.